In the 1900s, there was a thought experiment that was made. You imagine that there is a train track and it's going straight, and you are the conductor of this train. Boxy train there. You reach a point here where the train tracks split into two. So there is a track that goes north, and then there is a track that goes south. But here's the thing. In the track that goes north, there are 5 people. Maybe they are a family having a picnic. And in the train tracks that go south, there is only 1 person. Maybe a worker who's working on the train tracks. And you reach a point here where your train can't stop, right? You either let the train go, it kills 5 people, or you pull the lever and the train starts to go down and you end up killing just 1 person. So here's the question. Do you pull the lever and let that train go down, killing only 1 person, or do you let the train go up and kill 5 people? Now, when the experiment was proposed, you can probably guess what most people picked. Most people would pick the 5 people. Most people would pick the 1 person, right? Over 90% of the original respondents to the experiment picked the 1 person. You can probably guess why. Well, 5 is a bigger number than 1, but it raises some important philosophical issues that relate to one term, and that term is value. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The first question that we address when we're looking at the idea of value is the value of moral actions. So when I say moral, because not all of you know what this means, it means the difference between right and wrong actions or behaviors. Here's a question. Murder, M-U-R-D-E-R. I almost forgot how to spell murder. Is this a right or a wrong action? Well, most of you would say it's a wrong action, and you'd be right in saying that. But the question is murder a wrong action all of the time? Well, then that becomes a little bit more tricky. Here's another thought experiment. If you had a time machine and could go way back and kill baby Hitler, you murder baby Hitler, potentially save 3 million, 4 million people, would you do it? Most people would do it because they say, well, you saved 3 million people. Then the value of that action is not on the action itself, but rather on the amount of good that it can bring to the most amount of people. There is a particular word for this. It's called utilitarianism. The idea that what makes an action right or wrong is what benefits the most amount of people. Perfect example of utilitarianism up here. You kill 5 people, well, you're only benefiting 1 person. If you kill 1 person, you're benefiting 5 people. So this is the first problem it addresses. The second problem that it addresses is the value of human life. The value of human life. So the question is, if you're going to kill 5 people, you say, well, 5 is bigger than 1. By what standard are you measuring the value of each individual person? What makes 5 people more valuable than 1? Is it the amount of money that they can bring into the economy? Is it the weight of their relationships with each other? The fact that they're going to have more emotional experiences? Well, it seems a bit odd to judge them based on who they are as people. Like, let's say, oh, this person's a teacher, and this person's a lawyer, and this person's a such and such, so we shouldn't kill them, right? Because that means your value is going to change based on what you do. But then there is another idea that is relating to this, the idea of intrinsic value. Are people worth an equal amount just for being people, or are they given different amounts of value based on what they do, their social function in society? So the example of the train track is really an exploration into value. Why is this important today? Well, I mean, we can see a lot of practical applications. Here's one. They're making AI for driverless cars. And in a driverless car, it has to decide, well, if it's going to get into an accident, is it going to cause a smaller accident, or is it going to go with the larger accident, right? And these are practical applications that we need to consider because these kind of ideas affect behavior.